Hello guys, welcome to Vibe with Ivy YouTube channel. Today we have another interesting vlog. I'm in the farm. Today I want to show you the process that I take when I want to get rid of the weeds in my farm using chemicals. For me, I told you I always use chemicals to spray my weeds. So stay tuned so that you can learn, enjoy and watch till the end of the vlog. So you need clean water from the tank or from your storage source where you get your water from, and a spraying can. So that is my spraying can. My spraying can is 15 liters. So you put in the water that you've come with to almost 3/4 full of your spraying can. After you put 3/4 full of your spraying can, you take the chemical that I am going to use. This is the chemical that I'm going to use. It is colopa. I'll be showing you how it looks like from the can. Now you measure 50 ml of the chemical, and then you measure another 50 ml of the same chemical. So if you have a measuring tin or a measuring container that is 100 ml, it will be effective for the measuring of this chemical. But if you have the type that I have, that is 50 ml, you make sure you measure 250 mls. So it depends with what is the amount of the measuring container that you're using. And then one thing you need to know is that you require 100 ml of this chemical. That is what, as you can see, I'm showing you, it is colopa. That is what I use to get rid of the weeds. Yeah. Now, again, after now putting that chemical in the spraying can, I put 2 handful of salt. This is the cooking salt that we use in the kitchen. It is the normal cooking salt. So the reason why I put salt, it is to fasten the absorption of the chemical that I'm going to spray the weeds using. There is another chemical that is used to fasten the process. I'm not sure of the name of what's the name of that chemical because I've never bought it. For me, I choose to use salt since it's cheaper and it works the same way as that chemical. Do not put the salt directly inside your spraying container. Do not put it directly as we did with the chemical that we are going to use to spray our weeds, that is colopa, because salt has some pellets and they block the pipe that you can see being used to mix the chemical. The pipe that is being used to mix the chemical with the water, it blocks that pipe if you put the pellets directly inside the spraying can. So you put it on the sieve, then you pour water, you add in some more water. That is why I said you put 3/4 full of the spraying can, so that the rest of the quarter that will remain, you will add through the salt, so that now the salt can dissolve as the water is getting in the spraying can. So you pump. The pumping helps to mix the chemical with the water and the salt so that you can have a unique, what can I call it? A unique now mixture of the chemical that you will be using to spray your weeds. So one thing you also need to note, this chemical that I'm using it only kills the weeds with the broad leaves. If your weeds are the type of the maize leaves, if they have the narrow leaves like the maize, you definitely know that this chemical will not get rid of those weeds. So you have to find another chemical that you can use to remove the weeds with the narrow leaves. But for my farm, most of the most of the weeds that are in my farm, they have the broad type of leaves. So that is why you can see I'm using this type of chemical, because I know it will get rid of the broad type of leaves. After you mix, you now pump back the chemical that had gotten in the pipe as you were pumping or as you were mixing the solution. You pump back the chemical that had gotten into the pipe back to the spraying can. And after that, now you can close your spraying can and now put it to your bag and ready for the next process, that is the spraying process of the weeds. Imagine guys, it's that simple. You just need colopa, that type of chemical, and salt. Salt, I've told you, it is just for fastening the process. If you don't want your process faster, then you can just use the chemical. This is how you spray. You sway your pipe from that is connected to the spraying can from left to right. Since I told you this chemical doesn't get rid of the narrow type of leaves. You know that, like for the maize, there are the narrow types of leaves. That is why you can see I'm not cautious while spraying the chemical. I'm just doing it just kawaida too. Yeah, you can see I've also sprayed that maize and it will not dry. The maize will not dry. That is why I told you, if you're using this type of a chemical to get rid of your weeds, just know the leaves with the narrow types of leaves will not dry, or the leaves that have this type of leaves, like the ones for the maize, they will definitely not dry. So it is easy to spray. You can see it's that simple. One thing you need to put in mind, please ensure you have a mask when you're spraying this chemical. Ensure you have a mask. Also, you can wear your gumboots for you to keep safe while handling this chemical. Also, ensure you wash your hands after using the chemicals. Now, this is one day after I sprayed the chemical. You can see now the weeds have started to dry and the maize are still green. I want to show you the evidence, guys. You can see the leaves for the weeds have started to dry up and the maize are still in the same state that they were at even before when we started to spray for the weeds. I'll be showing you quite a large session so that you can see what I'm trying to say. You see these leaves are now drying up. So the weeds will dry up and the maize will remain after the leaves now have dried, and now it means your farm will be free from weeds. And it is that easy, guys. For me, I do not prefer doing the plowing or the normal digging using a hoe. No, I have a very large scale. I do very large scale farming, so that will be extremely expensive for me compared to using the chemicals. Look at that view. The view, isn't it beautiful, guys? This is very beautiful. That is how the farm looks like after now we have sprayed our weeds, or after getting rid of the weeds. That is how the farm looks like. Now, even after the second day, after the third day, the farm now is completely free from weeds, and I am a happy farmer. And now the next thing to wait for is that great harvest. So thank you guys for watching till the end of the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, hit that notification bell so that each and every time I'll be uploading, you will